What is up, you guys? I am so pumped. I cannot wait to show you what we got done last night. Me and my homie Jack just started crack-a-lacking on this car, dude, and I'm gonna fill you guys in. But first, I gotta run to the hardware store because the other day I bought the wrong size bolt. It wasn't the wrong size, it was the wrong thread pitch. I got fine thread on accident and I needed coarse thread. But I also just left the local fleet farm. It's like a Tractor Supply or a Running or a Baumgars, and I got a 4-inch 90 for the intake pipe. So I'll show you guys what we got going on as soon as I get back to the shop. I think you guys are gonna like it. It's pretty unique. Well, Max ain't open yet, so I can't get the bolts that I need, so I'll have to run back down later. But it is what it is. All right, so we are working on the intake, and for the intake, all I do is grab 4-inch exhaust tubing, and pretty much any truck shop will have it for sure. You're probably gonna have to pay a little bit more for it from that kind of place, but it is achievable if you're trying to keep your business local or you're in a time crunch like myself and can't order parts. So I'm gonna turn you around and I'm gonna start showing you what we got going on here. And call me crazy, but I think it's gonna work. So I went ahead and bought a 90 this morning. I've had the rest of this, but all this is gonna do is allow me to come down here with my air filter. Something like so. I do need to get another rubber boot and I have to trim this pipe just a little bit, but everything is pretty much buttoned up for the most part. I went ahead and pulled an evap out of a different motor and I cut it down flat. I threaded a bolt into it and then I siliconed over the top of it. So that is an evap delete plug. I need to get the transmission vacuum hooked up into this one right here. You just pop this tab off. But in the meantime, I got the temp sender not tight. That's not good. Okay, so I'm gonna have to fix that. That's minor. And then for the big thing, we went ahead and moved this alternator. I used the factory bracket. I cut it, and with some finagling, we got it rotated. So now the hood closes all the way. Now, I'm not gonna tell you exactly what it took to do that. If you're brave enough, you can figure it out on your own. And that's pretty much the highlight of this right now. I do need to run a wire from here to the starter. Otherwise, we got our fans ready to get wired. They should be here today. And the interior of the car is put back together. We got the wiring kind of tucked up in there and completed. I went ahead and slit the PCM and put a piece of strap metal through it. And that is what's going to hold it up. The fuse box is right down in there. When I get back from LS Fest, I'm going to take the time and clean the harness up on the interior. But for the PCM, all I did was take a grinder and grind a slit through it. It'll leave about an 1/8 inch cut. And then you just slide your metal in it. And you can screw it. And you just got a quick, easy clamp. And your PCM won't go anywhere. Now, I do need to go ahead and take the intake and all that stuff back off so I can get the oil fitting in, which is sitting right over here. So I got to put these two together and then put this into the back of the car, and then the oil gauge is hooked up. We got the intake off, and I am working on drilling the water pump. Now, I just got through on my hole, but we're going to take our steam port and run it over here to a little brass 90. So it will look like... It'll kind of look like this once you're done. So we'll go from that steam port right over to here with 1/4-inch hose. And I drilled a 7/16 hole for a 1/4-inch NPT. Now, I do have the 1/4-inch NPT, so I'm going to go ahead and run that through. But I learned a little lesson yesterday from a friend of mine, and he said, put grease on the end of your drill and then stick a vacuum in it. So I just went ahead and stuck it in like that, and it actually kept most of the shavings out of it. The rest of them I'm not worried about. I vacuumed this one, this one, this one, and left it in this one while I drilled it. And the grease actually held probably 90% of the shavings. That's what that little ring is just grease. All right, so when you get done, it should look something like so. And I'm going to just go ahead and run my hose over. I'll probably slip it underneath this steam port tube and plug it in. Good to go. Never know it'll be there. We're getting so damn close, I can feel it. So we're gonna go ahead and start hacking away at this. The videos are kind of here or there. I get that. It is extremely hard to have this kind of a time crunch, film everything and get everything done. And I'd like to respect the people that I'm around, and I don't really shove the camera in their face and, oh, what are you doing and stuff like that. It's just not who I am. So we are pretty much completed for the most part. As far as wiring and all that stuff goes, there is one wire on this harness that goes to the fuse box of the car. And there may or may not be one more wire that needs to be grounded. I will know as soon as I try to start it. It'll either start or it won't. But otherwise, it's very simple, very straightforward. Everything plugs in to its own connector. And if you click back to the last video that I just uploaded, I had the directions to my harness put on the camera, and you can just pause it and look at all your sensors if you need some help. I do have to go underneath the car and get the VSS sensor put in, so we'll go over that. That's not hard at all, just 2 wires, and you need, like, I think it was an 1/8" space in between the 2 fittings, and then you're done. So that's really easy. The rest of it is going to rely on the tuning. I have to go into the tune and put in that the VSS is now 8K pulse, and take the VATS off, or the vehicle anti-theft system, and it should start after that. It's gonna start after that. I'm telling you, it's gonna start. If not, I have no idea. We're just gonna keep playing with it because we got a couple days to get it dialed in and all that stuff. So we're gonna get it going, and we're leaving for LS Fest May 18th.